what's up, guys? Look, this is going to be kind of a short video because what I really want to do is I want to save most of my thoughts for my season 1 video, which is going to be more in depth. It's going to be more high quality. This is just going to be a video basically telling you guys what I liked, what I didn't like, and that's going to be it. The Last of Us every single week is just good. Every single week. And I guess I'm just tired of just every single week saying it's good, it's good, it's perfect, it's almost perfect. Like, it's like, look at my ratings for every single episode. There's only one that is in around the 8 territory. Every single one of them is like in the 9 and 10 territory. It's just absolutely fantastic show. Without a doubt, at this moment in time, is my favorite video game adaptation of all time. Could be the favorites of a lot of people too. At this point, man, this show is just very, very good. There's some people that don't like most of it. There's people that don't like a lot of it. There's people that don't like, some of the things that they show in this show. But at the same time, that's why the video game exists, and you can go and play the video game. And The Last of Us show is just a very faithful adaptation. They took a little, deviations here and there, but they have done a very fantastic job in retelling a story for a broader audience that don't like to play video games. I really do believe this is just very good. And I have nothing more to say. It's just, I can't wait for the finale. And episode 8, man, it was very good. And the only thing that I didn't like about episode 8 was just the final scene where Joel and Ellie hug. It's considered one of the most iconic scenes of all time, and it's not the performance between Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal, because their hug, their emotion together, the performances between both of them in that scene was absolutely perfection. It's not them the problem, it's not the cinematography, it's not anything else, it's just the music that they chose for that scene. In the video game, I 100% prefer the version in the video game where Joel hugs Ellie and then he basically calls her baby girl, and the music in the background is just more intense, more emotional, it just brings out more out of me compared to what they did in the show. In the show, it's a little more bland. It's not as emotive. It's not as good, in my opinion. It's the wrong soundtrack to use in that scene. And one thing that I really think to myself is that Neil Druckmann said, if we're going to change certain things in this story, it's going to be because it's better, in our opinion. And if it's not better, it's going to stay the same. And in this case, it should have stayed the same when it comes to the music. And I really do believe there's some people that really do underrate how important music can be with storytelling. Sometimes you can have the best scene in the world, but if it's mixed with a soundtrack that is not the best for that scene, it's just probably not going to hit as hard as it could be. And in my case, it just did not hit as hard in the show compared to the video games. And if you guys want to see why I believe that the game music would have made this scene 100 times better, watch my friend's latest video, Decken. He's a very close YouTuber friend that I have, and he posted this video basically combining the music from the game with the scene in the HBO scene, and watch it be 100 times better. The video will be in the description down below. And that's honestly my only complaint when it comes to this episode. Is the only reason why I don't give it a 10 out of 10, a perfect masterpiece. But apart from that, everything else was a masterpiece. Everything else was absolutely perfection. It literally, this is one of those episodes that really stayed very close to the source material, and when they did add upon it, it was just way better, and I really did like it. I loved some of the changes that they did with David's character. In this episode, he feels more creepier. He feels more just like a real fucking pedo, fucking just nasty person. And just the way he was depicted, the way he was shown, written, I really do believe that this David is as good as in the video game because of the extra layers that they gave to David. I still prefer the David from the video game, in my honest opinion. I think it's just, I'm just used to Nolan North's, creepy voice and the, the face model and stuff. So it got, I had to get a little used to the new, actor and stuff. But he still did a fantastic job as David. He was creepy. He was just intense. He was just like this episode, man. This is my favorite section of the whole video game, and they just did everything right. I don't even know how to put it into words right now when I'm thinking. I'm gonna actually write it down for when I do my in-depth video of season 1, where I'm going to get more in depth. But I'm just telling you guys, absolutely fantastic performance and absolutely amazing David in this show. And the stuff that he was saying to Ellie, the way he was delivering the lines, the stuff that they actually added. For example, when Ellie was in the cage, and then in the game he is insinuating David, that he kind of wants to wife Ellie and stuff. In the game, it's insinuated. In here, there's a few extra dialogues that makes it very obvious that he is a pedo creep. Like, he is just a disgusting human being. And then, it's so rewarding when Ellie grabs his hand and just breaks his fingers. It's just absolutely fantastic. And then at the end, the scene where Ellie and David are fighting, and then, finally Ellie gets the upper hand a little bit because she stabs him, but then, David grabs her, pins her to the ground, and then, the things that he tells Ellie, the normal dialogue that we know is like, you don't know me, you don't know what I'm capable of, right? Like, in the game, it implies that he is a fucking, rapist pedo, right? But here, there's an extra dialogue where he's like, this is what I like. Like, he's telling Ellie while he's choking her, oh, this is the scene that I like the most, to see girls in this position. And he's at the moment taking his pants off, and you can already know what he is about to do to Ellie. And Ellie's scream at that moment, like Bella's performance in that moment in time, was just absolutely heartbreaking and perfection. It was a horrible scream, and when I mean a horrible scream, it was a scream of desperation. It felt so real that my heart broke at that moment. I completely forgot that this was just a show that I was watching. It felt so real and cruel that it literally gave me goosebumps. That's how good this performance was. And I'm not gonna forget that scene, because that shit just breaks my heart. I have kids, and like, just thinking to myself, that can happen. Not just in this world, but like, that's actually, I'm losing my mind right now. Like, man. That scene was just too good. God damn it, dude. Like, it's like when you see kids in that situation, man, like, as a father, like, you want to go and protect that kid. And it's so sad that just happened to Ellie. And it just felt so real. It felt so brutal. It felt so like, I can only imagine what would Joel do if he would have seen that, He would have destroyed David. And it's just like, man, sometimes I wish that actually happened, because wow, like, god damn it, man. Just thinking about like what could have happened to Ellie, like, yeah. God damn it. And then, of course, Ellie kills David in just a brutal fashion. He finally gets his justice for being a fucking creep. And then Ellie, just slicing him open, and then she gets out of the restaurant, and then Joel finds her, he hugs her, he tells her that everything is gonna be all right. She looks at Joel and just goes and hugs him. And Joel just tells her everything is gonna be all right. Oh, baby girl. And just those words, man. Those words just makes me want to fucking cry, man. It's one of the most iconic scenes in the game. It's one of my favorite scenes in the game, in my favorite section. Everything about this episode, it just captured to perfection the winter section. It made me cry. It made me feel all these emotions. And honestly, I just wish the music was just like in the game. But apart from that, everything, the way it was delivered, it was just a masterpiece. And the only way to actually just know what I'm talking to you guys about in this video is to watch this episode from beginning to end. And you, as a fan of The Last of Us, and even if you're not a fan of The Last of Us, this is just, what an episode. Almost a 10 out of 10 in my opinion, if it wasn't for the music change. And honestly, this is all I'll say about this episode. Absolutely amazing. Remember to subscribe to my channel, to like the video, and to stay tuned for my final episode review, which is going to be next week for episode 9. And then after that, my season 1 review of The Last of Us HBO show. Endure and survive, my friends. And I'll see you guys next time.